A lot of people in Scotland might not be familiar with Passive House. It might be a bit of an unknown quantity to some people. But one thing that's really apparent as soon as they walk in the door of a Passive House building is that they can feel the difference. It's immediately apparent to people that it's a healthy and cosy environment to be in. It's also clearly really low energy consumption, and at a time when Scotland, like so many other countries, is grappling with the climate emergency and the cost of living crisis, this is clearly a very high priority for Scotland. The Scottish Government has very stretching and ambitious climate targets. They've been approved by Parliament, so that's a legal obligation, as well as, in my view, a moral obligation for our country to achieve those. And there is simply no credible path to those climate targets without a really ambitious approach on the way we heat our homes and buildings. It accounts for about a fifth of Scotland's emissions, and so changing the way that we heat our buildings, changing our heating systems, but also making sure that we're building in a really low energy consumption way and retrofitting our existing building stock to reduce their energy consumption. These are all hugely important parts of that path to net zero. Passive House, or a Passive House equivalent standard, one that fits with the way that we do building standards and our compliance plan approach in Scotland. If we can get that right, we'll not only help to make sure that we're building new homes and retrofitting homes to be more affordable and healthier for people, we'll be helping to hit those climate targets much more effectively. Since we announced our intention to introduce a Passive House equivalent standard, we've set up a working group bringing together the range of views from within the industry and other stakeholders. We need to make sure that what we design is deliverable at a scale that's never been done before. We have seen increasing numbers of Passive House homes and buildings being taken forward, but to do that on the scale of the whole of Scotland is going to be really challenging. So we need to make sure that the way we deliver this commitment is well informed by industry, well informed by experts. So we're taking forward a series of workshops through that working group to really make sure that we draw together the range of expertise that needs to inform our policy. We're committed by the end of 2024 to introducing regulations to implement this standard, but we've got a lot of work to do before then if we're going to get it right. There would be no point simply making the announcement if we don't do the detailed work to show how we can deliver it, and that's what we're committed to doing.